Welcome to Biggus Geekus. We are your hosts. I am Joe.
And I'm Randy.
This is episode 119 of our show, and the date is Thursday, December 29th, 2022.
Little off on our dates, but got a good crowd here. Look at everybody in the chat, chatting it up. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
They are being very chattery.
Yes, they are. Hey, Hungry Wee He-Walk. I haven't seen him for a while. Or her, whoever it is. I don't know which one. It's all right.
One of those.
I'll gender him. I'll gender that dude.
He's an Ewok. They might be agendered.
True.
Gendered. Neutral, gendered, genderless.
Right.
Engendered.
How was your week? I guess it was Christmas past.
Christmas was good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Had some disappointments this week.
Yeah, that sucked.
A couple of pets died.
Ooh, that sucks too, man.
It does.
Ewok clarifies. Dude is correct.
Dude is not a gender.
He is. It is for him. He's cool like that.
Okay.
Don't challenge him. He'll be sorry.
Yeah, I apologize.
And Ewok do.
For doubting your gender.
Do not.
Thank you, Flatey. Yeah. It was tough.
Yeah.
Having a dog, a close companion for 14 years. It leaves a hole.
Yeah, yeah. She's been around for a while. Purdy was a little sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
then one of my wife's birds died today.
Oh man, you couldn't get a break. I told Deb. She was like, what? So yeah.
Well, so the bird had a prolapsed cloaca. So organs coming out of their butt. So of her butt. So larger birds you can actually treat, but it's a little finch. So you can't do anything. Yeah. You probably break it in half trying to get it back in. Sure.
So what did you guys do? Did you have to actually put?
We put her down.
Yeah.
They had a big gas mask for when they do operations on large animals.
Mm-hmm.
So they just put her inside the mask and gassed her.
Yep.
And then she fell asleep. And then they injected her, and then that was that.
Yeah, that was probably pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have some good vets. They worked us in today. They were very busy.
Yeah. Did you guys take Purdy in too earlier in the week?
Yeah. She had stage 4 cancer.
Mm.
So there was lesions all over. The vet believed there was some neurological involvement. So that's why she was just laying there with her tongue hanging out, drooling. So that was, we were like, Jenny was like, I'll leave it up to you. And I was like, I don't see any reason to prolong the inevitable.
It's tough to let him go, though. I mean, when I put my cat down a few months back, I'd had him for 20 plus years. It was pretty tough. Well, no, I guess he was 20 years old. We've had him for about 12 or 13.
It's better than seeing her. It's better than seeing her with her tongue hanging out, not really there. Hey, Victor Gorchev, welcome. I was not expecting so many. There's a couple of other podcasts or live streams going on tonight. So hopefully
we're gonna make this cool then. Quit talking about animals and make it awesome.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys will stay here for a decent amount of time before you move on to the other places. So yes, this is a year in review for 2022. We're going to highlight stuff for Biggus Geekus and other things.
Mm-hmm.
So just going from the jump, we did a deep dive into 13th Age.
Yeah, we did.
Because we played that a lot. I just want to say welcome. If I didn't already say it, I said there's a lot of folks here, but I just want to say welcome to everybody here. Legion of Myth, Iron Man, Flatey, L maybe is still around. Yeah, there we go. Darth Theic, Victor, of course, I already said. Maliki, and hopefully I didn't miss anybody.
Oh, bunch of them. Green Apple, Hungry Ewok, Patrick. I'll get them for you.
Yeah. So
Martinson's here, Scott. Got hard to name them all. Glad they're here though.
Yeah.
Victor's here. Yeah, he said Victor. All right.
Yeah. Catch them all like Pokemon. They're like Pokemon.
Yeah. When I started to set this up, my plan was I was going to go episode by episode. And I said, nah, I'm not doing that. And I thought I would just hit the big highlights. So I scanned from last January through, last week. This is interesting. This may come up later. Green Apple says, glad to see you guys. Thursday is usually my slow, boring night. We originally were Thursday guys, right, Joe? Wasn't that our original night?
Original was Thursday, and then for some reason we bumped it to Wednesday, and then Wednesday started being bad because of Bible study.
Yep.
So then we moved it to Tuesday.
Right.
And here we are back on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll see. I know next semester I teach on Fridays, which is inconceivable. But
wow, how did they do that to you?
I wasn't paying attention, and they slid in a class. I had to teach Friday, and I said, "Hey, don't you? I got tenure. What are you trying to do?" But they didn't listen.
They probably reminded you were a white dude, and if you don't shut up, you'll be out on your ear.
Right. Oh man, I'm sorry, Darth. He says it's been a shitty year. About the only thing I've looked forward to is your alls at LOM's podcast. Oh
wow, that's really awesome. Not awesome about it being a bad year, but awesome that somebody actually. We are their highlight of the week.
It's good to help. Maybe we'll enjoy stuff, but man, he needs.
That's got to be bad.
I think Darth needs to come play D&D with us. That'll help.
Yeah.
Put Darth on our table. At our table. I know he's far away, but
well, I got a new laptop for Christmas,
Ooh.
So maybe we can set it up and we can have his noggin there in a space at the table instead of if he can't be there in person.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show I used to watch. Called This Week in Tech.
Yeah, I remember that. You talked about that.
Yeah, the guy who ran it ended up being a big jerkwad, though, so I stopped watching it. But that's what he would do sometimes. He would have people on screen. They'd have big screens set up in places around the table. But yeah, I got a new
nice
laptop.
Very cool.
It was very inexpensive. It was on the Amazon renewed program. It only cost me $400.
And you're clearly not using it today.
No, but I will be using it on stream at some point just to test it out. Because if it works, I can bring it to Cabin Con.
Cool.
And at least record.
This is what I got. One of the things I got the Rift's Ultimate Gold Edition, and strangely enough, I also got a couple of source books and another Rift's Ultimate book.
Well, I was wondering if you had two.
Yeah, I do, and I don't.
Why didn't you give me one? I'm telling you,
I don't really like you that much. So yeah.
Okay, where's my eject button?
Ban hammer. No, we can talk. I'm sure I'll probably end up giving one of these up. So
no, I already got. I ordered one.
Okay.
Well, okay. So I ordered the Rift's surprise bundle thing, and that was the first thing I listed. So it will definitely be surprised if I don't get that. I can't imagine them not wanting to that to be part of the package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but that's cool. Yeah, and I got what else did I get? I got some goodies. I got some modern gaming stuff, which was pretty neat. Too much to read, but it's cool. It's a good problem to have. So. Yeah.
Oh, looks Legion is shouting himself out.
January
stream.
All right.
Oh yeah, tomorrow is their membership thing.
Yeah.
So all you got was a microphone, Mar Hockman?
Must be a sweet one though.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Dude, Victor, look at that. He's been on Friday Night Chill stream multiple times and not even remember. I was on there last week with Victor. We had some fun discussions, if I do recall. So yeah, I
was on a live stream with Victor over on the Basic Expert a little while back.
Nice, dude. There's a good bunch of podcasters around here, and if you want to chat with people, they're usually willing to get you in there. So
hopefully everybody here backed his Kickstarter. If not, you suck.
Whose Kickstarter? I did not back it.
Victor.
Who's?
Victor had it's already over with. Too late for you unless you have it. Victor, do you have your your Kickstarter on Backer Kit for people who come late to the party.
Yeah, can I backer kick you late, dude?
Kick his back.
Yeah, if you want to kick me in the back because I'm so late. I don't know. I missed that. Probably not paying attention. That's probably it.
Oh. Cool new, it has FU on the 20 and F me on the 1. That's funny.
He's got a cool new die, and FU on the 20 and F me on the 1. Very nice. All right, cool.
I got 2 big D20s I was using last night when we were playing.
Yes, I saw those.
Yes.
They weren't doing you very well, though.
No.
But L, yeah, I think we was last week, right, Legion? Didn't we do it last Friday? I think so. I was on for a couple hours. It's fun.
Oh, here you go. Victor wants your money. He doesn't have Backer Kit because he's a noob and doesn't know how it works. But people can always PayPal him.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll PayPal him and get me a copy of whatever. I don't even know what it is. What's his thing? What's his thing?
What's his thing? That's something you two have to discuss offline in private.
Well, I feel Victor and I are close enough to discuss those things. So
not here.
I'm talking about what was his Kickstarter game book? What was it?
It's a modern, simply modern. I think it's a weapons guide, I believe, is what it was.
Ooh, I should definitely do that then. Modern guns, very cool.
It's for the 5e engine, so he does a modern game in 5e.
Okay.
Yeah. So remember, WOTC rhymes with nah. We're not going to say the rest because we'll get a strike on us probably.
It do. Okay.
Yeah. So we did the 13th age thing because we liked it, still like it, but it's doesn't have as much shine on it as it did.
Yeah. D20 mod for 5e, kind of. Gotcha, dude.
Mr. Max Boivin, welcome.
Hey, yep. He just squeezed in. Oh.
Apparently, Victor is a maxophobe.
A maxophobe. Oh. I wonder if that includes Mr. Max Boivin, too. Probably.
Well, there's 2 Maxes here, so.
Well, he is Canadian. What the heck are you going to do? I mean, he can't.
Well, he can't help being born there. Except, yes, he can because he can move.
Yes, right now. We expect you in Michigan. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, renounce his Canadian-ness.
He needs to live in Michigan. That would be very good for him and us.
So, here at the end of 2022, what's the most we can say about 13th Age at this point? We played again.
Mm-hmm. I will play it anytime. Joe's less enthused. Campaigns.
It's too abstract.
Yeah, I don't want to go into the rules, but we did. We talked about that for 5 weeks. We had a 5-week arc. I don't think we've ever dived deeper into an RPG and probably had more people that cared less.
Yeah, I know. We don't like 13th Age. We like D&D. Shut up.
Yeah. It was the 13th Age episodes got long in the tooth. But to be honest with you, it was probably more me than Joe. Joe was ready to punt, but I was like, dude, I want to cover all this. And we kind of did. We kind of beat that dog in the ground.
I think I could have just put the 13th Age link in the show notes. Good game. Especially for one shots because they make the character fast and everything's it's a cut down version of 4th edition and 3rd edition mushed together.
13th Age is based on D&D. True, it's a D&D style game. They call it a 20 rolling game.
Yes, it has 4th edition elements in there, but they disguised them. They don't exactly look the same, but they're similar enough.
Yeah. L says Legion of Randy, 13th Age, segment 1. Yeah, we should just have every segment 1 should be my discussion. And I do like the game. There's a lot of nice things about it. I felt a little bit like Legion of Myth, how they had the year of Palladium. We had the month of 13th Age.
Yeah.
So Darth just shared the die on our Discord.
I will go look at that.
Go find that.
While you run your mouth.
13th, that's easy. I can do that. But 13th Age is still a game. It's on my shelf. I've got 8 or 9 books, expansion books, and I would play it. In fact, I'm thinking of running a game this year at Cabin Con. It's such a great one-shot game, as Joe said, and you don't have to play low level. I mean, you can one-shot. I could generate 6 or 7 10th level characters probably in a couple of hours, and you guys would be ready to go and be told. And the best thing is you don't have to give magic items out. You literally don't. 13th Age, what does he say? Mr. Max says 13th Age is not based on the age system, and that's annoying. It's on the Arkham. Yeah, that is funny. It should be, but it's not. Ooh.
Let's see.
Make it bigger because I can barely see it.
Embiggen it.
Oh, I see it. The full F word.
Yeah. Discord doesn't let you make them bigger except for like this.
F use the 20, and then F me is nice. That's a good one. Yeah.
Hopefully folks could see that well enough. Otherwise, I would have to download it and then open it up and then make it big.
Yeah, Shadow and Sun, I'm down with that. Victor makes a good point. He says he prefers the 18th Age, keeps him on the legal side of things. And
the father might still want to shoot your face off, but at least the law won't be after you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends on how Victor is. I think a young fella, so it might be okay. Then compared to us, that is.
Yeah. But 13 days, that was a big piece. And that was kind of the whole month of January and then a week in February. And I kind of lumped all our guests together. And that was, we transitioned now to other
we're
things.
all white guys, so we're all one person anyway.
True.
Isn't that the way that works?
I think it is. Yeah, you're just the dude.
I had Bruce on a lot.
Yeah.
Mr. Lombardo.
Yeah, Malachi, you might be right. As he flipped through it, it's not for him. Like Joe said, it's abstract. It's you're a big damn hero, and I don't want to go into the details, but you got to enjoy a little more looser rules, not nearly as much worrying about fiddly bits.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's I think it's too simple. It doesn't. I like a little bit more complexity in my games.
Yeah.
But complex games should be well presented.
Yes.
More on that later. We did a bunch of monster mashes.
We sure did.
And for you young folks who don't understand what Monster Mash is, it's a song from the 50s.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
By someone who sounded like Boris Karloff. And the song's called Monster Mash. Go look it up. We're old, so Monster Mash means something to us.
1962, sir.
62.
If Wikipedia can be believed. Yeah, same thing. What's the difference?
There you go, Malachi.
Yeah, our Monster Mash was, we started it this past year. So we started with Undead and went to the Terrask, Constructs, Golems, Giants, and then Drow and Demons recently. So, yeah.
Victor is really giving it to Max.
He is after him mercilessly. So,
what kind of monster would Max be if Max was a monster? It'd have to be something short.
Yeah.
So,
L stinging comment. He says, Patrick, the more others buy and review, the more money you can save by not wasting on buying things like 13th Age. Hey, that is kind of a good point, except 13th Age is good. I understand.
Okay, we have a lot of good folks here. They have the Monster Mash down. That's good. The thing is, though, it kind of gets reprised every Halloween. So
yeah, that's one that's going to keep coming back. We've like I said, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So we got to do a few more. We got to at least get 10 so we can rank them. That was our initial promise, was to rank the monsters. So we'll probably do 10 or 20, and then we'll rank a top 5 or top 10.
The GM's alcove already turned me into a monster in his Pathfinder 2 game, according to Legion of Myth, called Baby Maxipod.
Nice.
All right.
So what about our... Go ahead.
Some Redux.
Yeah, we hit some old topics again, I think, in more detail. Importance of stats and attributes. We kind of did 2 episodes on that. That was interesting. High level play we hit again, and then our
Well,
fascination with
there's a
OSO.
reason why we had to do stats and attributes in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Because you didn't make the first one.
Oh.
And so we had to kind of keep the ball rolling so that you could have your say so.
Yeah, I can't let you just say stuff and go with that. I got to get in there and get my 12 and a half cents worth in. Would be 2 cents, but inflation and all that.
Right. And because I'm the one running the tech, we couldn't just have me not show up this week. We had to postpone if we were going to have an episode at all.
Yes.
Which we needed to do this one anyway.
Yeah.
We also did Satanic Panic.
That was kind of a cool episode. I wasn't, when I thought about that, or did you suggest that or whatever, I wrote it up and it was really long. I had a lot of links and I was like, I don't know if this is going to be all that interesting, but man, it kind of was. People like that topic. That's an interesting topic.
Well, yeah, it's part of history,
Yeah.
Many of us survived it.
Shadow is on the list. He says, don't forget his first live appearance, Evil Campaigns. Yeah, you're in my notes, sir. I've got you and Bruce. T-shirt was on once scheduled and one time unscheduled. That was cool. T-shirt historian. Bruce from Dick's Division was on with talking about initiative and Gamemaster. Shadow and Sun did Evil Campaigns. And we had Legacy Gamemaster. We talked about the old school divide and OSR gamers versus
modern gamers.
And we had a nice, I think, was it just one? I only saw one Potpourri with Patrick episode on safety tools and staying positive.
I think we're slacking on the Potpourri.
Yeah, we need to get Patrick back in here. But yeah, it was cool to have Shadow on there. We need to get him. We got to have more guests this coming year. I think it's fun to have.
I think so. Yeah. I want to try to get some guests on, like Victor here, who's over in who has some of his stuff in the Emporium. We can talk about that. That would be cool. He and several others. Maybe we can get that new chick on too. That would be cool.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully she doesn't get insulted by me saying the word chick.
I doubt it.
Some ladies are.
I can't remember her name. Oh well.
R.H. Snow.
R.H. Snow. Yeah, she was cool. Yeah.
He's going to make it wait for a whole year.
Hey, as long as he shows up, it's good. Ha! We should change that. Elle's got a good one.
Potpourri.
A Potpourri, yes. We probably should call it a Potpourri. Absolutely. But what did you think of the Satanic Panic discussion? I mean, I was surprised how much I was motivated at doing it.
Well, I learned a little bit about it. So back in the day, there was probably, you knew there was issues with the right and rock and roll music and whatnot, but I didn't know that was like Satanic Panic. I thought that terminology was reserved just for the D&D arena, but apparently it was a whole big, that actually covered the other stuff that we knew about. We just didn't, at least I didn't know that the terminology was widespread.
Right.
Oh, are we going to show how much Bobsy twins we are?
Oh, we could. Yeah, we've done it again.
Starting with ball caps.
Oh, yeah. Ball caps for sure.
Glasses.
Yep.
Goatee.
Oh, my God.
T-shirt.
Same Cabin Con t-shirt. Yep.
And we did not talk. Well, we texted a little bit during the day, but yeah, D. Steiner did his speaking to Congress. The thing is, Twisted Sister, even though they looked weird, like weirdos,
yeah,
the messaging in their songs was a lot of not necessarily wholesome, but it was like, watch out.
I can't read Mr. Max Bovan's comment, his side comment, talking about how you referred to Chicky Poo. Man, I was talking to him the other day. She got insulted because he called her the B word. What a C word. It's funny, but I can't believe she got mad. That shocked me. Yeah. Patty's Parlor, welcome. He says, when I was president of the D&D club in high school, I had to send memos with the other kids so their parents wouldn't freak out. Wow. The Satanic Panic. I believe that, dude. That is crazy town.
Hey, Patty, welcome.
Yeah.
Patty's Parlor. You're probably if you are Patty, then welcome. If you're not, you're welcome. He's a follower on Twitter.
Shadow and Sun made this comment, I think, before during that episode. The Satanic Panic was pretty real here in California with actual Satanists and witchcraft at the gaming tables. Not my style, so I bailed. Yeah, I remember seeing that in college or pre-college. Some people being way into that stuff. I thought it was just Fruit Loopy. They weren't really at our table for any kind of time at all. Yeah, I wouldn't have gamed with them. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm not into that.
He's the Patty.
Well, then there you go.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one.
Hey, phone guy, welcome.
Yeah.
And I blew.
Hey, is that our DVR people? It's got to be.
DVR Army.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, Cal, it was, huh? I guess I didn't. He said it was devastating for him in high school. I don't remember. I remember more from my family. I mean, as you can guess, I was raised had a lot of religious folks in my family, and my mother was never really concerned about it at all. As I'd said before, I've told that story a million times. But I had uncles and aunts that were like, "What's going on?" Most of them could be reasoned with, though.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad in our neck of the woods, but right. It's DVR Army.
My bad.
DVR. DEEVEEARR. It's a YouTube channel, and they do interesting calls, let's say. But yeah, it was something that was mentioned, but it might also be because we had some people playing D&D, and we talked about it in school, but not much.
No. But I think in different places it was probably. I imagine that Cal was talking about even pulling your books out. I know Patrick went to a religious school and he had to go to the principal's office and explain himself. So there you go, man.
Well, that's fine, because at least the folks there talked about it instead of making a judgment at without any kind of based on someone's hearsay, which is all that it came from. Hearsay. They didn't even read anything. They just assumed what was in the books.
Yeah.
Patty says, super appreciative of what you guys are doing and how you're doing it. Found you guys from Venger after his Chalt demon baby killers got pulled from drive-through.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Demon baby killers, otherwise known as Democrats.
Kinda. Speaking of that, I did do a Venture Con last summer.
Yeah.
And took the Biggus Geekus t-shirts, got noticed, got some people that were into it, and made some good friends. And I think some of them are supporters of the podcast. So that was cool. Looks like Legion says talking about Vengers should be on Friday night chill stream on the 6th. Cool, fun times. I may be gaming that night, so we'll talk about that later. So
I will likely be working. Oh, hold on a second. Maybe not.
Are you quitting right now?
I'm quitting.
You're texting. I've had enough. I got to play more.
I'm out. I have to be on Friday night chill stream, so I quit.
Yeah, I quit. Hey, you have guys. That is how you have your priorities right. Joe says gaming first.
It's the next Friday that I'm off. Not
talking about gaming first is more important than even working. Yeah. So there you go.
That's not my off Friday.
Oh, I tell you what, it's a good thing I'm teaching 8 to 10 in the morning on Fridays next semester. So that's why I said, okay, don't push it though. After 10, Randy's out. Dude, I hope class ain't going past 10 because I'm done. That's what I said in my mind. What does Flighty say? Watch the Indictment James Woods movie. The Satanic Panic was real in some places. That's what happens when adults lose their login and realize kind of like now when adults lose their reason. Yeah, that does happen.
Yeah, there was a movie that he was part of where they had some kind of nighttime ritualistic thing going on. It was weird. I heard about it. Logic, yes.
Yeah. We had some. Oh, should be.
I don't know.
I'll be okay with that.
So we had some contests this year.
Yeah, we did.
We need to have more contests, but we need to actually have more folks subscribing. So
I didn't. Oh, I got the Paranoia Second Edition box set, which is freaking loaded, dudes. It is like a loaded, thick box set. I'll show that next episode. But I did give away Grimtooth's Ultimate Traps. And what else did we give away? Riddle of the Sphinx, where you guessed the dice. That was wasn't that Mr. Arnman? I think he won the dice guessing.
I can't remember the winners.
You got a strange little WEGS RPG bag. It was kind of a different thing. I wonder what he thinks of that. I think Arnman was here a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what thoughts are that. But the Paranoia box sets, we got to wait for the 500 subscribers. So we're going to try to do some stuff to mix things up. No, we did, Patrick. We had a little talk. He asked.
Yeah, but you wouldn't let us talk about it very much because you were selfish and wanted to talk about it.
That's right. We didn't want to. Yeah, we didn't want to steal the thunder from our boy Legion of Myth. Yeah. He was first.
What do you mean he was first?
I didn't know I was going to be on the show. Oh yeah, dude, you know it. Oh yeah, Tim Scott won the trap book. Yeah, so that's cool.
Oh, so I know whose table to avoid.
You do, dude. Grimtooth is no joke. Yeah.
You see a trap, I go the other way.
I ignore all traps. I have a superpower. It's called ignoring traps and not getting caught by them. Thank you.
Punching the DM in the head for having a trap.
Yep.
That usually makes him say, "Oh, what trap? There's no traps here."
Yeah, we did break our 100. We broke the 100 episode milestone this year. That was cool. Yeah, Legion did. He won. Feng Shui.
I think that was more Randy's win.
I got rid of that thing.
Hey, you can use it for White Elephant, or could have.
That would have been a good one. Is that a role playing game? Yeah, sorta. No, it was fine. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I don't care about that. But yeah, so we continued with. What's that? Oh yeah.
You arm wrestle your membership into becoming our membership.
Yeah. Shadow had just did their 500 subs giveaway and can't wait for your 500 sub giveaway. What can we do to help? Good question. We're going to have a segment on that because Joe and I are going to talk live about what changes we might make or how we could adjust things a little bit.
Well, how we format our show isn't the biggest issue there. It is getting people to come see our format.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more of a marketing thing or I'm not sure. It's not marketing when there's nothing to pay for. So,
yeah.
All right. So Shadow and Son, Shadow said he's going to arm wrestle all his folks into becoming our folks.
Excellent.
Sounds good. I guess we can have giveaways regardless of whether we like hit milestones.
Sure. I still got stuff I want to give away because I'm tired of it.
Oh, did we get an extra?
Extra what?
Cal says it said at 344. It was 343 right before we started.
Oh,
let's see.
Sweet. So our whining paid off. We need more subscribers. Wambulance. Call the wambulance.
Yeah, somebody did. Good deal.
Good deal.
Sometimes you can't trust. Those numbers. So someone remote will say, "Oh, it's this," and then you look in there and you're like, "No, it's not."
Yeah, the Riddle of the Sphinx giveaway with my dice bowl. There were 691 691 dice. This is less than half of that, 344. So if we can get to half of 691, and if we can do that, which won't be that many more, 3 more, then yeah. If we do that, I'm going to give something away when we get to half the number of dice in that fishbowl.
Hey, Cal, calm down.
Oh, man.
Yes, thank you, Myth, Legion of Myth.
Oh, sorry.
While we are talking about all of this, huh?
1 or 2 more subs is all we need. I got to figure out what to give away, though. Not the paranoia box set. That's 500. But I'll find something. I'll announce it next week.
I am certain that everybody looking at us right now live is subscribed. But
if not,
if I'm incorrect, please correct that situation. Oh. And if you're listening to us after the fact, please hit the subscribe button.
Patties, I realized I wasn't subscribed. I did so about an hour before the show. Thank you, sir. Yeah, and if you like and subscribe and do all that good stuff, because we need the algorithm.
The more we have going on, comment-wise and all that stuff, supposedly, the more we'll show up in search results.
Okay.
Not sure how well that works. But it couldn't hurt.
No.
So, in the interest of not hurting, do all that stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I do. So with 2 more subscribers, and we're giving away something. I'll announce it next week for sure. Randy's going to get in his shelf and pull something out and say, "You got to get this sweet book of awesomeness."
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, I received the hardcover of Chronicles of Ares. I was talking about it the other day. It got here really fast. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. What was it that I ordered? I got something. I should show. I found. Remember, you've heard of Central Casting, right?
Yes.
I got their Dungeons book. I forgot what I was watching. Someone was talking about. It might have been Nerd Cognito, right?
It was Nerd Cognito because they had a recent episode about that.
And that sounded really cool. So I got one on the cheap. It's kind of beat up, but it came in today. I'm excited to dive into that one. But yeah. What else did we talk about? We talked about, of course, the controversies of the day, WOTC, and
yes, sir, Victor. Greg from Aries is a good dude.
I've heard him interviewed. He's a all right cat. WOTC and DIE and the
Hog. Oh, yes. Thank you, Patrick, for being a monthly subscriber. I'm appreciating you right now. Stop
he likes us. He subscribed to us and he pays us money every month. What more do you want? As he runs away crying. That's awesome.
What you do is you hire somebody with no neck to visit all the other subscribers and not subscribers and get them to subscribe and pay. That's what you do.
Continue on if you can without me for a moment.
Yes. Yes. I want to thank Patrick for being a monthly, he was already subscribed, but he sends us $10 a month on the regular through PayPal. Any of you so motivated could do the same or some other amount. There's no set amount. It could be anything from $1 to 10 to 20 or 100. Whatever you feel this is worth. Value for value. Whatever entertainment value we give you, because Lord knows we don't give you any information that you can't just find by cracking open a D&D book. Okay.
Max Legion was asking, Central Casting Dungeons. It's basically a step-by-step, suitable for use with any fantasy role-playing game. Pretty beat up, but I like it. Good. I won't feel bad that it's kind of a somewhat quasi-collectible. But so I got a beat-up version, so I don't feel like I have to keep it in good, pristine shape. He says it's a bit. He goes, Legion says, I love that book. It's a bit dated, but very functional. I used to use it a lot. Mine's pretty beat up. Yeah, good.
Yes. Hey, everybody here who has their own show, I'm going to start with Victor. He has something called the Dutch Oven. I don't know if it's on the regular or if you throw up an episode whenever you feel like it. Haven't got a beat on that, Mr. Victor. Legion of Myth, of course, is Legion of Myth. Who else here may have their own deal? I don't know if Patty's Parlor is a YouTube channel or if it is a other thing. But if you have a show, let us know and we will shout you out.
Shadow and Son
right here. And Shadow and Son.
Yeah.
Shadow and Son has their own show.
Yeah.
Called Shadow and Son.
Yeah.
As far as I can
tell. Bruce at Dick's Division. Doesn't Bruce do a podcast tonight?
I think tonight is Gatekeepers tonight, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Patty says Facebook and Twitter is all he does.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. I'm good with that. But yeah, that central casting definitely will be giving it a try. It's definitely got a lot of old school stuff, and I'll see. They made it sound really good, the people at Nerdcognito.
We should generate a dungeon on the show. You can do that as an episode.
Yeah. Fun idea.
Table Breakers is tonight.
Yeah.
Last night was Gatekeepers. Thank you, Malachi.
Yeah, I know. I got to watch the Gatekeepers. It sounds cool. They're kind of doing they did talk about what Gatekeepers is about and stuff like that. So, yeah. Dungeon creation. When I read that book, we'll do it. We'll roll dice and make up a dungeon, add some coolness to it.
Patrick says he's getting on board with my suggestion. He says, do it, all of you. This is a stick up. Your GPs for your HPs or your HPs.
Right.
So we had episode 100, like you said, and we couple of times, and maybe most episodes here and there, bellyache about the woke crowd.
Yeah,
a bit. Though it is justified in our mind.
Yeah.
We do. You could call it bellyaching if you want. We'll accept that.
It's fine. And, it probably is. But the truth is, they just annoy the crap out of you. And people do that. I mean, they bellyache about anything they don't like. They do the same to us. And I'm hoping this year, if we're going to talk about, I guess in the next segment, I'm going to talk about kind of my New Year's resolutions. And not that I'm not going to talk about the wokitude, but I kind of want to focus on useful stuff. But we'll get to that. So yeah, we did. We talked about that, and remember the Hadozi and the no words we did recently.
I don't remember the Hadozi unless somebody brings them up. It's just something that doesn't stick in my head.
Well, the truth is, a lot of the things that we made fun of was the outrage mob that we would never have paid 2 seconds attention to. So you have a monkey race, whatever. Who cares? Yeah,
there are dozens of other animal races, and
that's
more gaming, less complaining is my New Year's Eve motto. Yeah.
That's the motto.
Talk about not necessarily wanting to be positive for positivity's sake, but more being productive. We're just talking about things I like.
Sure.
Yeah, and we don't care how other people play. It's them, the ubiquitous they, who want to stick their nose into other people's gaming business and make them do other things. And that's not what we're about. So
no.
Play how you want.
Yeah. And then, of course, I had my comic book frustrations. Joe reads comics some, but I'm more of the comic guy. And
you are the comic guy.
The change in heroes' sexuality, all the Isom #1 Joe got on board with, all the DC and Marvel crap.
I will get #2 as well. It was good enough, I think, to get.
Yeah, I want to support him one more time, and if I see improvement, I'll keep getting it. If it seems the same, I may bow out after 2. But I really like him a lot. Gosh, I'm blanking on his name. What's his name? Eric July. Yeah.
And it's a shame he doesn't do any more podcasting. He just does YouTubes. He doesn't publish his YouTube audio into podcasts. So I rarely listen to him these days.
Yeah.
But he's not really into he doesn't talk about all the same stuff. He's talking about his comic mostly, which is fine. His company, his comic, and related things.
L says, Joe, you're just being white dude, so old and crotchety.
Yeah. Well,
good analysis, L.
Yeah.
But yeah,
if the description fits, then I should wear it.
yeah. And I tried to swear off not complaining, but man, they really hit me where I live when they start screwing with Batman and Superman, and yeah, it just annoys the poop out of me. But I'm trying to let it go. I watched 2 movies this year. I guess 3. I watched 3, even, and 2 of them after I said I wouldn't. That was the Batman. I watched Spider-Man. The last one is at Homecoming. That was before I said I was out. That was good. And then Black Adam, which was not really good, but at least it wasn't stupid woke garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, he what's his nuts isn't going to be Black Adam again. Apparently,
No, they kicked him out already. I was like, he was fine. He wasn't great. The story was
and it's not like he ain't woke like the rest of them.
Probably. And Pierce Brosnan was great as Dr. Fate. I liked him.
Was it Pierce Brosnan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
he was solid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we did learn something cool this year.
What's that?
That about the Witcher guy.
Oh yeah,
Cavill, Witcher guy, Superman guy. He's a nerd, and he's not a woke nerd. So yay!
I think some of these dudes on the chat knew that already before us. I think that's been a thing.
Oh, I'm sure everybody on the planet knew it before us.
But yeah. But before, Cavill is a breath of fresh air. I've literally heard from his mouth defending nerds and stuff, and he is one if the videos be believed. I hope he can keep working in Hollywood just because I know it's big money and he gets a good career, and I hope he can do some good shows, and I hope he keeps fighting the power, man. I hope he just gives them crap nonstop when they want to, change Captain America to some, black lesbian trans person. So yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about, oh, go ahead.
I say Martinson said, I told you guys multiple times. We don't listen to you though. Actually, we're just old. We forget. How many times do you have to tell me stuff over and over, Martinson? You know how much I remember that stuff. You're the king of trivia, not me. So,
like I said, everybody else knew it before us.
Patrick says they're after Cavill now. Yeah, I saw some of that stuff. They're trying to get him on the backside, saying he was toxic. Yeah, you're just mad because he wouldn't bend the knee.
Yeah, but it's actually it's also coming out that the reports of him being toxic, like the person who initially let that rip on Twitter said, "Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That was all unconfirmed." Blah blah blah. Because probably he was like, "You better shut up because I'm going to slap you with a lawsuit."
Dude, I have a lot of money.
Because that would be slander.
Yeah, good point. Green Apple says they can't call a Cavill an incel, so they have to lie about being. Yeah, right. They absolutely cannot.
Right, because he's definitely not an incel, but he could be toxic because he's actually masculine.
I bet Martinson's told me this, but Elle says this is legit. That the next Doctor Who is going to be a black trans lesbian right now. Oh, is the one right now?
Well, gay black dude.
Gay black dude. Okay,
that's what I thought.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's whatever. The Doctor. I was never a Doctor Who fan, though I've been doing some diving on the. Believe it or not, Joe, I did some Doctor Who research for the Rift game.
Oh, okay.
And I had some ideas. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. There's some pieces of things I might use. There was some interesting. I think Doctor Who, from my research, seems to have cool storylines and some good villains and some interesting aliens. But every time I watched it, it just seems super weird. And maybe because I'm just not into that stuff. I
think the modern Doctor Who is a little bit more palatable, but still, the old Doctor Who is better, I think, in almost every way, except for perhaps production value. Even with Tennant and the folks surrounding all of that, I think that the older stories were better.
Yeah. The stories were probably better, but the acting got a little. I think, like the Matt Smith guy, Martinson can help me out if it was Matt Smith or who was the other guy that reminds me of Matt Smith.
They were all decidedly way less masculine, the modern guys. All of them, even Tennant. They're all kind of soft.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yeah, that's what Martinson told me. It was Tennant. So, Okay, I've enjoyed a few episodes of his, but the old shows, I probably didn't give him a chance. Probably better, like you said, better stories. When I read the wikis on them and stuff, there's some cool stories going on. So maybe Doctor Who, I could go. Is there a way to watch the old stories? I'm sure there is.
What's that? Say that again.
I said, is there a way to watch the old Doctor Who episodes? Can you find them somewhere that's streaming?
Oh, there's a British streaming service. Can't remember the name of it.
I won't search that hard. I'm not that interested.
You can buy it on DVD, I'm sure.
I have old Star Trek episodes. I'm good. Dude, we also did a pretty massive review, an attempt at a review of White Plume Mountain. We tried that multiple times. That was a problematic topic. You did a solo part on that too.
Yeah, because I think you missed that one too.
I did. I was being bad this year. I was skipping left and right. I'm out, dude.
Elsa is Doctor Who is on YouTube.
Oh, well, then I may have to just check some stuff out.
Right. And Darthik correctly says some original Doctor Who is on audio only because some of the video, they didn't really archive it very well, from what I understand.
They pull an ET video game on that, where had they buried all the ET video games when it was bad, and now it's a weird collectible for Atari or not Atari.
Well, I think Doctor Who's popularity has waxed and waned over the years, but they just didn't have good. I don't think they had good archivists.
Martinson says HBO. Okay. And Patrick says, did Disney buy Doctor Who? Tell me no. Please, no.
Maybe they bought distribution rights, perhaps.
Hopefully that's all they got. Anything Disney touch just turns to crap, let's be honest.
Right. Now, the Video Masters got lost. Huh?
So the White Plume Mountain was kind of fun because we reviewed both
old and new.
Old and new, yeah. The 3.5 and the original first edition. You have the first edition. I had the 3.5 one. Mm-hmm. We did not review the one that was in the 5th edition Tales from the Yawning Portal. Though it was pretty decent too, but nothing lost all its, feel and stuff. The original flavor, but was good.
Plus they had a lot of the map. I was mentioning that the map and the intro to it, because it's a tournament module, so you start at the beginning at the door, right? But a DM can use the little tidbits that you get by reading the module. A crafty DM could easily set this in an ongoing campaign, or just be able to craft something so that you're not just standing at the door. It would be very easy with what they give you. And there's all kinds of neat things in the map that they don't really describe too much of, but that are inspirational and can flavor any kind of random thing you might want to do out there in those locations.
Yeah, someone's Mar Hockman said I needed to watch as an introduction to Doctor Who one of the Hartnell episodes. Probably, I have seen a few. I've seen.
Is that the black and white? Is that back when it was black and white?
I've seen a Tennant. I've seen an Eccleston. I've seen, I think, what's the other guy? Matt Smith. And they were okay, but honestly, I didn't really give them a fair shake, because I just like, Doctor Who's dumb.
Well, there's a couple of the Eccleston ones that had really awful CGI. The one with the trash cans that were alive.
The supposed animated
ooze things.
The dolls. What are they called in the
adipose?
The ones that, what are those things called that are in stores? Mannequins.
Oh yeah, the mannequin folks. Yeah.
Black and white apparently. Oh, the first actor to play Doctor Who. Oh, you're talking the ancients.
Right. So it started out, like I was saying, as an educational thing. So there was, if I'm remembering right, I saw one really early one where they were in with the Aztecs or some similar cultural group. So there was some, I think that was like maybe right when it switched from being educational to being more fiction based. Yeah, adipose were the little fat creatures. That was kind of silly.
I saw one with flying sharks. That was weird.
And the master became the mistress.
Mm.
The master was another Time Lord and died and became a woman because they needed that for some reason.
Needs to happen, yeah. That's important.
And got a kick out of giving Doctor Who a big wet kiss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was kind of like, oh, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah. Oh. But anything else that you can... I tell you this with the White Plume Mountain before we leave that did like ignite. I don't think it was around that. Maybe it was around the time we were starting OSE. It really made me wanted to play. No, Patrick, it was a Doctor Who episode where there were flying sharks in this world. I'm like 99% sure.
Ghost Sharks Christmas special.
Mm.
So yeah, so we did White Plume Mountain.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you can think of that was a highlight of the year?
I
mean, other
Big
than
Geek Emporium.
Oh yeah, dude, that got started. I can't believe I forgot that. Well, it's just because it's such a big thing now. It just seems like it's been around forever. So incredibly popular, millions of people.
So incredibly popular, gangbusters kind of stuff. Yeah, no. But we started Big Geek Emporium because Drive-Thru RPG became a bunch of dicks, or revealed their dickishness in more forcefully, I guess. So we did that. That is a lot of what we did. That is for sure. We've spoken about ONEDND a few times. We talked about that.
Oh, Martinson brought up Ravenloft. Yeah, we spent some time. Ravenloft. We spent some time talking about Ravenloft.
Yes, we did.
Was that 2 episodes? I feel like it probably was.
I'm not sure.
The
whole year is kind of mushed together at this point.
Yeah. So I kind of felt like this year was maybe just because I think this whole year was a YouTube year. I think we're fully on YouTube. So I think we kind of hit our stride. Whether it was good or not, we did. But I feel like we were kind of getting in a rhythm. Whether it's a good one or not, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We will. Hopefully, we will. If our stride isn't good,
we'll change it up.
We'll change it up and get a better stride.
Mm-hmm. That's how you run, right?
Sure. Dude, that's the robot.
I thought that's how you run. You said your hands have to be like this, cross country boy.
No.
No?
No.
Oh my goodness. What do you do when you run? You told me something one time.
That looks like zombies running. You hold your there's no way.
There's
no way. Everybody tells you there's a way to do things. Usually there's 50 million different ways. Whatever works.
Oh, sprinters usually do that hand straight sort of thing.
Some do.
Yeah. Okay. I was neither long distance nor sprinter. I preferred not to run.
Preferred the not running thing.
In very short distances is why I played defensive line. So I like that better. Less running was good for Randy.
Yes, L is trying to make a joke
about there
being not too bad there isn't an archive of all the videos to see the topics covered. Yeah.
Dude, last week he wanted me to watch the video that I was talking about all the way through Mark 1. Now he wants me to go back and look at all our videos. I don't think so. I have the outline, so I did the highlights. So.
Highlights. Yes. For more information, go back to January, hit play. Legion, yes. I run to the bathroom, is what Legion says. Welcome to old.
Mm-hmm. Patrick says, Grandiose Nerd Boutique. Is that an alternate name to Big Geek Emporium?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like it.
That's perfect, dude. I think we might have changed it. I need to change that. That sounds good. Grandiose. GNB.
We're not changing anything. You can go start your own.
Dude, yours is mine. Don't try. You're stuck with me, dude. All right. Stuck, yeah. Well,
all right.
You want to tell them to do some things again?
Yes, I'm going to tell them to go to subscribe.
Do that, man.
Hit that like button, comment, tell your friends, tell your enemies. We want everybody to know. Go out on the streets and tell total strangers about our show.
Watch this show.
Watch this show. Their life depends on it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe their happiness.
Yes.
Maybe.
They just won't be happy without us. That's for sure.
Is it just me or does my hand look really small right here?
It looks super small, dude. And Joe has big hands, dudes. He could palm a basketball in 7th grade. It looks like a monkey.
I couldn't shoot it. I couldn't shoot one.
No, that was the good thing. So I could still beat you. But dude, yeah, your hand looks tiny. Mine looks huge, and I have short fingers. There you go. That's looking more Joe-like. It still looks. Your fingers look stubby, and I know they're not. You know,
it's just the camera, tricky camera.
And my fingers look longer. Crazy. I got stubs for fingers. Trump hands.
Trump hands.
Trump.
I was looking at that wrong. I thought he said trumpet hands. I'm like, what is trumpet? What does that have to do with anything?
I have no idea. Oh, so segment 2, kind of shifting it a little bit, still sticking with the New Year's thing. What are you hoping for? What kind of changes do we want to discuss here? Do you think there's more things? Well, you mentioned doing the dungeon thing. I think that would be fun to create a dungeon. Is there other things you would hope for? You'd like to see? How are we going to grow? What direction do you think? For big.
Well, hopefully girthier.
Yeah. Well, maybe not.
Well, what I'm trying to do this year is actually get slimmer. So
yeah, that's always my goal, and I fail miserably, but I'll keep trying.
No quitting. Take that bull by the horns.
Do getting too old not to do it. David Guile. Oh, is it Guile?
You still have not given David Guile the adventure draft.
Well, I've written a lot of stuff. He needs to see it.
You know what it is?
He's like my editor.
Getting nerds to do anything is like herding cats.
Meow. Meow. Sorry, David.
Hey, come to Big Geek Emporium. Get some just free PDFs. Nah, I'm good. I'll do this other. I'll pick my nose or something.
Yeah. Oh, Elle did make a comment. We did forget about Cabin Con. That's a comment every year. We're going to do that in May. That's coming up. Well, the due date's not too far away. A couple months away. People are going to be paying me some fat cash.
It's 120 this year, right?
125 is currently the bill.
Dude, 125
and 50 cents. That's what I'm going with right now.
125.50? Seriously?
51. 125.51.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
No, I think 125 is what we're going to do.
All right.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that at the end maybe it won't cost anymore. We'll see. But the guys were cool. I mean, it's still a bargain. 3 nights, 4 days.
It is. Can't beat with stick.
And we do. We try to beat each other with sticks every year. So.
Well, some people call what we call sticks twigs.
Some people. I don't like those people though. Got any?
So where I want to go with YouTube?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm not sure that we need to change our format a whole lot.
Right. We're talking about a few more interviews from the Big Geek Emporium people.
Yeah.
You mentioned the idea of maybe, I think that creating a dungeon live on a video could be fun, using that dungeons, because that's what this is about. And maybe fleshing it out more than just rooms, but fleshing it out a bit. So we talked about APs, maybe doing an actual play of something. That sounds like a bigger production for us.
Folks
though.
barely want to see us talk about gaming. You think they want to actually watch us actually play?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Gotcha, Legion.
Oh,
Oh
if you
yeah,
want to make sure Randy does not ever read your message, you send it to him on Discord. Guaranteed.
I'm writing. Hold on, I'm writing that down. Max.
Oh, we haven't heard you say that before. I'm going to write it down that I will get on Discord. And then when do you see Randy on Discord? Never. Almost never.
This is tempting. I just don't have time for it. Dungeon 23. I was going to talk about that in the last segment. Have you heard about that, Joe?
No.
A dungeon room a day. Someone threw a challenge out. And so, yeah, look at that. L says, I saw Randy play once. That was enough. Fair enough, dude. I guess we got our answer.
He's a better DM.
Yeah. Oh. But she has a better DM. He's not wrong. So yeah, 125 is cheap for 4 days. It is, dude. It's quite a bargain.
Yes, Tim. If we had Kelly and a few of the other ladies on, we probably actually would have an audience.
Well, yeah, because they pretty up the whole table. So
yeah. The rest of us are ugly old.
Kelly was a bit on fire last night. She was having a good time with or without us.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And my character saved the entire town single-handedly.
Dude, you did.
Everybody else wanted to murder them.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it, right? Because I think we don't have much to say about. If you have other things I don't know if we got other things you want to talk about yet on the new year.
Let's see. I think as far as the rest of what you got here, if with having more guests, we can probably talk about more games, because that's probably the one thing we can do more in 2023 is talk about more games other than D&D.
Right. More non-D&D games, which we're trying to do.
Well, Martinson, you certainly didn't say anything that I heard. Did he say anything?
He said nothing. He was going to go along to get along, even if it meant murdering everyone.
Murder.
So, yeah. What about, besides having the creators on Big Geek Emporium, I think we need to get some of these sweet podcasters on here, too, that were our buddies. We we've yet to have Legion of Myth on. We need to have him on.
Yes, we do. And
we got to get on T-shirts, which I don't know if we're going to make it this week. We said we were going to. Now I don't know.
What about T-shirts?
We were going to be on T-shirts.
We
got one more.
Yeah, week. Saturday we got plans.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know if it's going to be. Well, Saturday's New Year's Eve, so he probably is not doing something then. I'm not sure.
Oh well, he said he would make. Well, it might have actually happened if some of the other stuff didn't happen.
Good point. You had a pretty intense week, so yeah. I think I'd like to be.
We have to be exposed. We have to expose other people. That sounds gross. Oh, games.
Other games is good for the podcast. Yes.
Exposing them for what they are.
I think we need to really push hard to try to get our subscriber numbers up.
Well, it would also help, I think, a little bit to have some extra content throughout the week. It doesn't have to be. We don't have to live stream every day, and that probably wouldn't happen. But we probably need. I will try to work in some time to clip the shows and put little bits and pieces out there for people to see instead of the two hour tour de force that we have every week.
What about Cal says he's exposing himself to other games now.
I wonder what gender that is.
Yeah. Green Apple says YouTube rewards frequent uploads. I keep talking about solo reviews. L, he says I'm going to do a solo review of Ravenloft. I got a couple things I need to solo review, and I guess if I did the video, you could upload them onto can I upload them onto our
YouTube?
Yeah. Okay. And
you can record it on your, like you would do your class records,
right?
Recording, and we could put it on Dropbox or somehow get it to me,
Mhm.
and then I will go from there.
Okay.
Or I could even show you how to do it.
Mhm. Oh, Tim Scott's going to be running Blade Runner, the new one, at Cabin Con, I think for sure. And then he said we could review that. That would be good.
Yeah, I was thinking about shorts.
Yeah.
YouTube shorts.
Right.
So I can easily cut bits out. The thing is I really hate listening to myself. So cutting the video requires me to listen to my own voice, which I'm not very fond of.
I should learn to cut the video because I love to listen to myself, as most people can tell. So I think it's the funnest thing. So
yeah. So I've got to bite the bullet and do that stuff.
I know.
So we'll try to make a go of it this year to have more content up, even if it's just little bits of our normal live stream cut down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So more games, more content.
Yeah, that's a plan.
I think we don't need to change our live stream format, though. I don't think.
No. Yeah, because I don't want to not be able to interact with the people here because it's too much fun. Yeah. All right.
Alrighty then. So moving along, let me see. We did not get any call-ins or emails as such.
Mm-hmm.
For Big Geek,
Biggus
Geekus podcast, or the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of email for Big Geek Emporium, but that's nothing we need to talk about here.
Mm-hmm.
So you have something here about Red Book Dungeons and Delvers. So I didn't listen to that episode.
I was just wondering what they meant by Red Book.
And it's 154, not 158.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, they kept calling because they're reviewing Dungeons and Delvers a little bit, a high level review. Not much review at all, but it was still fun to listen to. The guys at Nerd Cognito.
I didn't listen to it, but I saw the blurb in it. From the blurb, it seems like they liked it.
Yes. Oh, they loved it, and they kept calling it Dungeons and Delvers Red Book or Red something. Was the cover meant to be red at some point? Are they talking about the actual hardback big one? Green Apple is backing this comment by L. Just do shorts from Cabin Con from the phone. Yeah, that's what we should do. But our internet's not great out by the cabin.
Well, the thing is, we don't need it to be. They're not going to be live.
Yeah.
We can just, of course,
record.
Not a lot of the guys at Cabin Con don't want to be recorded. So we'll have to do things where we can and put them out. They've said it. Remember? We talked about it.
I think they need to change their mind.
Well, maybe we need to rough them up some.
Legion says dice pool version is the red one. Okay, gotcha. Because it is red on the.
Okay. That makes sense then. Because I wasn't sure what you meant by Red Book or what they meant by Red Book.
Cal requested not to do them in actual shorts. Sorry, dude. That's how it's going to be.
We all wear shorts.
You will see my sexy legs. Be ready.
Well, maybe not all. Well, this year it'll be all because the person who may not wear shorts is not going to be there.
What? Yes, true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we have an open slot.
Right. So we can easily record. We don't need to do a live short. We can just do it or record it and then post it. It'll be easy.
I will. Okay. I'm going to do that.
And since I have my laptop, it'll be a lot easier than trying to do the whole thing on the phone. Though it might be easy. I haven't done one, so lots of people do it, so it must be easy.
Oh, okay. So David Gow says, I was calling it a red book as a kind of code name. Was really red at first, and then Melissa had me change it. Oh, okay. Dice pool version. Mr. Boivin says the red and gold is D20 version. Dice pool version got the Chibi character on it. Chibi. Yeah, must have been okay. Oh, that's it. Cal says we should all wear the high school gym class shorts. The high school gym class shorts. Yeah.
No.
Those suck, dude. A lot of.
I like my shorts to be most of the way to my knees.
I like my shorts to cover my testicles.
Yeah. And those gym shorts.
Oh, dude.
Old school gym shorts.
No, thank you.
Chibi is an anime style of art.
Oh, okay. Lady, that's horrifying. Yeah, you and me both, brother. You and me both. No one needs to see that. Oh. So that was just a question that I had. And of course, for Big Geek Adventures, I need to get that dumb adventure done. And Big Geek Con, oh my gosh, has it been on the back burner? Smack Randy in the face. I got to get my poop together, son.
Well, you're off, aren't you?
I have no excuse. Literally none.
Well, you do have a lot going on at your house.
Still weak though. I'm weak. So I will get it. I'll get on those things.
Well, I was telling my
I'll either
wife,
get on it, or I'll keep saying I'm going to get on it.
Yeah. I was telling my wife that one of the things I don't know how to do is write copy. So,
gosh, we need that. We need to write copy for this. Oh,
yes, I'm not as far as marketing or sales. I mean, I can write words on a piece of paper, but yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah, I'm going to have
writing copy for like an ad for a magazine or writing copy. And I sent out a newsletter today.
Mm-hmm.
The first one for Big Geek Emporium had a couple of pictures in it, some text and a link, and that was it. So hopefully we'll get a couple of sales out of it. If not, then I'll have to up my game. But I need to learn how to do some copy or hire somebody to do some copy.
Yes, we got to get copyfied.
No time like right after the show. Says Green Apple.
Call me out. You know it. So why don't we talk a little bit about our Rifts game we played last night?
Yes, that was fun.
It was a long session. We played till about 1 a.m.
Well, part of that was because a couple of us, me and my wife, showed up without a finished character, but we have a decent excuse, you know.
Yeah.
Our dog died, and so that happened.
Yeah, but it was cool. We had dinner. We hung out a long time. It was us, the aforementioned Kelly, Tim Scott's significant other, you and your wife. Martinson was there, our buddy Trent. That was a crew, right?
Yep, Trent, me, my wife.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
Martinson,
Kelly,
and
Trent, yeah, we had a good time. It was fun. I set up the campaign. Gave them kind of I set up it in my old near our old stomping grounds in Southern Indiana, more near than Joe might realize. We have a organization that is collecting the group together. Yes, we're playing next Friday. I had to cancel tomorrow. Yeah. So they're going to have to wait another week for our second session.
That means we can't talk a whole lot about it. Are they playing the same thing?
Completely different adventure.
Oh, cool. So we can talk about it.
We can talk all about it. They're playing a completely different adventure. It's kind of a Justice League type of post-apocalyptic Justice League setting with a cousin of Aaron Tarn being the leader. Those who know Rift's lore have heard of Aaron Tarn, kind of a rogue scholar of some repute, not ill repute.
Yeah. Considering how well Aaron Tarn is liked in the Coalition, I'm sure this dude has no love lost there.
No love for the Coalition.
Love for the Coalition. He probably has to worry about getting a knife in his back.
Right. But we had a pretty cool adventure. I stole liberally from science fiction movie series Aliens. In fact, I stole them directly. They encountered the xenomorphs, and it was fun. I ramped them up, did some cool things with them. It was a very close fight. Martinson's juicer lost all of his body armor in a fight, and he was like one attack away from being obliterated by a mega damage attack. And then Joe saved the day with a sweet spell to protect his.
Well, to be fair to Martinson, he was the only one willing to do fisticuffs with anybody.
The only one. He was solo meleeing everyone.
We had a crazy who didn't want to engage in fisticuffs, and we had a Samus operator who could still. I mean, it's robot armor.
He could, but he was that railgun. Even though he unloaded, he was a little underused.
Yeah,
he probably should have blitzed several of those things.
Well, hey, Mr. Ryan
David, what's up, man? We've been talking about you for weeks. Sweet, yeah. Glad you showed up. In a good way, sir. In a good way.
Yes.
So
We were talking about something I can't remember now.
Nerd Cognito's
Yes.
references the Red Book of Dungeons and Delvers, and and David Gile popped on and told us what the Red stood for and how it all started. So, yeah. Okay, so I don't understand this. Legion's hitting something with riffs. He says crazies go through the transformation.
The crazy transformation.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You're talking about doing a D6 damage, right? That's all they can do. A first level crazy can do D6 mega damage if
every round
with a power punch. They got to do a power punch.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Every other round or every other attack.
Oh, Ryan David got banned from Twitter. That's right. It's too bad. But yeah, I didn't know that. So there's something they can do. Yeah, we did too. I'm reading it too, Ryan. He's talking about Dungeons and Delvers. It was pretty sweet.
I'm getting my copy here soon. I got the notification it's got put in the mail 4 days earlier than projected. So that's really good. How do you remember how long it took for you to get yours once you knew it was in the mail? Or did you not keep track of that, Randy?
I didn't really keep track of it, but I think it was a little while. Yeah. Legion is saying a crazy can be. No, she didn't eschew combat completely.
She was blowing things up.
She was blowing things up, grenades and laser rifle shots, but I don't get how. I got a lot of rules questions. I mean, we'll see how this goes. So, because we struggle with the rules, and it made me kind of upset. To be honest with you, character creation of riffs annoys the living crap out of me. None of the versions of the book are good at making characters. You have to flip flop all over the place. That's aggravating. I do like the fact that I'm kind of with Heathen Dog. I like all the fluff at the beginning. I don't like the OCCs being before character creation. I feel like character creation should be before the OCCs. I think I have, dude. Legion says, read about the mom conversion. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, it's not like she ran away from combat or anything like that. She just preferred to blow things up. But
the best she could do was power punch for a D6 in melee. There's nothing, and that took 2 attacks. And I may have overpowered the aliens. Initially, I did. I backed off before the session because I heard what kind of powers they had. I changed things a little bit. They were just too good. But I tell you what.
Yeah, you were right not to let him have a godling.
Oh, yeah, that's too good.
I read that today. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, godlings are ridiculous.
The demigod's playable, but
yeah,
godling. Oof.
Well, I kind of nixed the godling. I nixed Tim Scott's dragon hatchling, and I nixed the glitter boy. The glitter boy might have been okay, but honestly, the Samus pilot guy was plenty tough enough. So
he seemed pretty strong. His railgun did very, very well. So David Gall is asking Ryan David, because Ryan David's Twitter was suspended a while back.
Oh, that's
there was a concerted campaign to keep him off, or to get him canceled, and was successful, and he still isn't back on. The Biggus Geekus podcast branded Twitter account has not been reinstated either. And all I did when I was employing said account was use the word tard twice in the same tweet. And apparently that's a no-no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. I'll come back and forth between this and Riffs. Darth Theek says, you thought about allowing a godling. What kind of drugs was you on? I was on the kind that didn't have the godling book. And when it came in the mail, I got one from my friend who wanted to play one, and I got one from me. And I said, sorry, dude, get out of here. The godling, I think the dragon hatchling is pretty boss too in the ultimate book. Which, by the way, here's another problem I have, okay? We talked about this. So here's the Rifts book that I have. This is the black edition, the kind of leathery bound one. It's essentially the same as Joe's. Joe's has the one with the Splugorth on it.
Right.
Then I have the ultimate one. And I mentioned before, I got for Christmas the special edition ultimate. And it's all fine and dandy, but it's really annoying how if you look at the difference between this book, they don't give you as much information in terms of thickness, but they change things enough to be a little irritating. And they took out some info. So when I'm trying to game with just the ultimate edition, Joe had this, and he's like, but it says here you can do this. I'm like, what? That was not even, and it wasn't like the rule changed. I think they just put it in different books.
Yeah, it's the Samus sensory array, what it's capable of. In the older edition Rifts, it had a lot of different things listed there, and apparently in the what's the revised one again? Ultimate edition.
Yeah,
it's doesn't have all the detail.
Legion is advising that you play with the black book, not the Rifts Ultimate book. You'll have more fun. Oh, I wonder why. Because they're missing information. As thick as this dude is, there's bits and pieces from the old book that's not in here anymore. And I find it a little frustrating that I also have to try to rifle back to. I know it's just complaining. I did this with D&D, and it's because I don't know the system very well. That's the honest truth. D&D, I had 1.5 million books. I just knew where all the crap was.
Right.
Million book stuff.
Once you get the lay of the land, you'll be fine.
The DM's guide is nice for equipment and stuff. I don't want to poop too hard on it, but it was a little annoying. The second complaint is not the Rifts rules, but just Randy didn't know parry, dodge, automatic dodge as well. Joe looked it up again after we had to get away from the table, and he said, you're in melee combat is the only time you can parry, which I think I got that right the other night.
You can parry or dodge.
I didn't think you could dodge in melee, so apparently I was wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like the auto dodge is too good.
Well, you don't get your full bonus with it.
That's the only, and I guess that's a balancing factor, because I noticed not having a modifier kind of sucked when you had to roll.
Sure.
And I remember playing Rifts back in the day, and I just thought it was so easy to always hit things, and it kind of is, but you guys missed your fair share.
Oh, yeah, we were missing left and right.
Yeah,
and, so you can parry as long as you have a one of the 4 or 5 hand-to-hand skills. If you don't have a hand-to-hand skill, you cannot parry.
Yeah.
But yes, you get to parry every attack.
Okay, yeah, for free.
Right.
I think that's Kevin Sembita's simulationist approach.
Right. So basically the parry...
Martial arts fight.
The parry just sets up an opposed roll for hitting, essentially.
Yeah. I don't mind that. I think it's as I was telling Max, I love the setting too much, and I already like the rules better than I did when I was younger. So I'm going to put the time in to learn it and keep playing it. I've got a setting. I've got an idea for a campaign, and that's kind of open-ended. We're going to play. I told the guys we're going to play twice this week, but I had to get some time off. Playing so late last night, to be honest with you, Joe, I was tired. I was like, I don't want to think of an adventure. I got things to do. I have a nugget of an adventure for the other guys. It's going to be completely different. But I love the idea of this campaign being sort of a once-a-month campaign, and it'll be whoever can show up. And if I really like it, it'll be twice a month. And if I'm thinking I don't want to play it as much, we'll do our OSE game like on the other weekend. So I've got about 10 or 12 people in the campaign. They're not all going to show up every time. So I'm going to have like a max of 6 players initially. And the better I get, the more I'll add to the group.
Right. So Max says, as a GM, Rifts really sucks until you get used to it. Once you get used to it and can actually find a rule or two, the game flows nicely. And I'll have to say, it didn't take the whole evening, but somewhere along the line, we got kind of used to the flow. I think what threw us off is cycling through the attacks felt like a round each time.
Correct.
So we have to make sure that we realize that when you cycle through everyone's attacks, each cycle of attacks isn't a round, but it's not a round until everybody has done all the things that they can do. And we also have to remember we have a we have a support character in our crew.
Yep.
And the first couple of times she was getting an attack every go around with everybody else. So then I was like, oh yeah, she can't do that. She only gets one. She doesn't have a hand-to-hand skill.
Yeah.
So she can't get an attack. She only gets one attack.
Yes. And technically only 2 non-attacks.
And one attack action and 2 non-attack actions. So, which you were still a bit generous with her, I think, with all the things she could do, but it wasn't a big deal.
No. Mr. Boban makes a good point. He says, if you like the setting but not the rules, you can try Savage Worlds Rifts. I have that. I've kickstarted a lot of their stuff. I have it, and I am willing to switch if I have to. Legion of Myth has to get his dig in. Savage Worlds Rifts is not Rifts. We'll find out. I don't know if I agree with that, but I understand I think I understand it. I listened to them talk, and I think I understand that it doesn't give the same feel.
Even who's it? Not Kevin, but Sean.
Yeah.
Said that. It has a different feel. And you have to understand that.
Yeah, I think it gives you a different, and we'll probably experience both because I'm running Savage Rifts at Con. Rifts makes you do homework, tab your books, keep your own little table of contents, quick flip page. Yeah, I agree. It could really do with a sweet, sweet DM screen, a hard one, a hardbound 3 or 4. I prefer a 4-panel DM screen, well laid out, which I know is asking a lot because their book needs to be well laid out. I would like to see a Rifts 2.0 book written and laid out beautifully.
And something we need to understand. I'm not really trying to give them an excuse or anything, but I think it's understandable. Most of the Palladium books were mostly written by one dude. So all of these issues are easily understandable given that, I think. If one dude did it all or did the lion's share, you can understand why there are issues.
Yes,
and like Tim Scott is saying, there's no index, and having no index or a horrible index, like most game books have had over the years, is a commonality. I think that the table of contents works pretty good, and they do have a mini index in there for certain things. And I think tabbing the book is I'm going to have to do that. I've never tabbed a book before. Something about tabbing a book. I don't like mainly because I don't even like writing in them, but that's me. Legion of Myth says there is an index, but you have to buy the book that's an index. I didn't know there was. Oh, is that like you're muted, Randy?
It's an index books. I think I think I sold some old Rift stuff back in the day, and I had that. Is it good, Max? Legion of Myth. Is that good? L's trying to say Savage Worlds Rift is not Rifts, but look, dude, you guys can say that and you can have your opinion, but the truth of the matter is it's officially been okayed by Palladium. It is created by Savage Worlds, and therefore it is Savage Rifts. That's I will not even repeat that, L. He is not. I've met the man. He is not that. He is completely cool.
Yeah. L is a complainer. So what can you do?
You can feel that way. It's okay to feel that way, but technically you're absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
They're okay with it. Now you can say they play differently, but you can't say it's not Rifts because it's called that. And not only is it called that, it's okay by them. So sorry, you lose on that point.
I mean, you have to qualify it and call it Savage Rifts.
They have to qualify. It's a Savage Worlds version.
That's fine. Yeah.
Behind David, tabbing is unclean.
Unclean. Now you could maybe put an insert, a sheet at the, just stick a piece of paper inside the book that has where you would put the tabs, and then you can have a quick index of your own. I mean, it'd be short, like 10 or 12 things, but yeah. So I think after sometime during the evening, we got kind of used to how everything works, except that we were doing it wrong.
Yeah.
But it will be an easy switcheroo.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about it. Legion says, this is the thing I want to get off the Savage Rift things, but it's a good comment. I wondered, lore-wise, the Tomorrow Legion is canon. You mean even in the regular rifts? Savage Rifts is not rifts. There is a distinction. It is rifts, but it's a different type of rifts. Whatever. You potato. You can say whatever you want. Yeah. It's fine. I think it's fine. I haven't played it enough, honestly. I may play it and come back and say, yeah, L and Legion are right. It's nothing like rifts. I don't think so. I think it changes the feel at the table. That's the
see, the thing is, with people, if you change the feel, it's not the same game. And I understand that. So if it doesn't have the same, if it doesn't give you the same feels, the fees are in an uproar. It's not the same game. I get it. Yeah. All righty then. So, but we had fun.
We did have fun. I did have some issue. I'm thinking now, don't you have to be an MDC guy? You have to have some MDC.
Oh, that in rifts, nothing else matters. Your hit points, your SDC are not even really worth putting on your character sheet.
Why do SDC weapons even? I'm not saying why they exist, but why would characters pick them up?
Well, because you might want to have them on your character sheet because you may not be running around in some towns with your MDC armor on, depending on what it is. So a glitter boy isn't going to be going into town necessarily in some towns with his glitter boy armor, tromping all through town. He'll wreck the place. Samus is the same thing. A Samus guy isn't going to be roaming around most towns in his armor. He's going to be outside of his armor. So unless he has a backup suit of, body armor that's MDC, but even that might be frowned on in some areas. So it all depends. Yeah, and that's what Legion is saying.
You're not allowed your MDC armor. Really?
Yeah, you may not be able to. There may be some places where it's verboten.
Yeah, but the only way they're going to keep you out is if they have MDC stuff. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, he said there's some.
The only way they're going to be able to enforce that rule is if they have MDC weapons in the first place. Correct.
Yeah. And Darth makes a good point. You can't hunt food with MDC weapons, not regular size food animals.
Nope. But there's those beetles that you were talking about.
The Fury beetles you guys saw cross the open highway. Yeah, you can hunt them.
If they're edible, if they provide nutrition, and there's no telling. That could be an interesting side thing we could do in Rifts is let's figure out what's good to eat of the MDC creatures that are roaming around. You're muted again.
Your characters could start a cooking show inside the intranet of Chi-Town. And you could say, this is what's good. We're going to prepare this week, Fury Beetle burgers, and see how it goes.
DB surprise.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Hungar, the Starvarian.
Hey.
Here to you and everybody else. Yeah, this is going to be our last show before the new year. So we should say that. Thank you, bud. But yeah, it's just, it was funny that every character gets all this SDC stuff, but really all you're going to use is your MDC stuff.
Most of the time.
But I get the hunting thing. The places could close you up.
By most of the time, almost everything. Most of the time when SDC comes into play, it's probably just RP session or RP. You're in town doing town stuff. And it's RP anyway. So, but it's possible. It's possible that it'll come into play, but it's not going to be very probable.
You could have a super powerful wizard group that says no MDC stuff in our town, and when you show up, it's still kind of the Wild West. So you got to fight and shoot, but you can use machine guns and handguns and axes and swords and bows. That could happen. Maybe some.
Yeah, but nobody's going to want to live there. No, that's why most of that crap about the Old West being the Old West, colloquially, everybody was shooting everybody all the time. It didn't really happen. Some of it happened, but not most of what they say happened. So you're going to have some of that where you're going to go into a town and you got to watch your back, but it's not going to be, it depends on how you want to run the game.
Well, and Yeah, Lady says you can play Rifts like a Shadowrun campaign where you're not wearing armor inside of a Chi-Town proper for most of the story. Sure.
So your SDC will come into play.
Mhm.
You better hope that someone isn't carrying around laser guns, though, because then it won't matter. That's why, because you can reuse a laser gun in town,
Yeah.
and then you'll burn anybody down with it.
Yeah. Oh, Darth says also in Space. Thank you, sir. From Palladium, you don't want MDC weapons because they'll punch holes in the ship. Yeah. It was the guy flying the Samus suit, this gangster guy got away from the juicer and slid over the hill and was setting up to, he was laying, it's kind of like a ravine, right? Where there was a creek down there. And the dude jumps down. He's kind of getting in position where he's covered and can still shoot you guys. And the Samus guy just rises up and blip. And he missed him. But I just said he just dug a little trench through the dirt. That was pretty cool. And then he grabbed him and I was surprised you guys captured the bandit leader.
Yeah. Well, all kinds of things happen. You never know what's going to happen once play starts.
I thought you guys were going to be bloodthirsty when you go into that hive where the aliens had the people lined up and there was like 6 alien eggs about to spit out a facehugger, and Joe's wizard killed those facehuggers with fire. And when the alien soldiers came out and they were attacking Joe, luckily you got a spell up to protect yourself, and the other guys finally helped you to kill them. And they were like, well, we're going to there's like 70 people inside this silo, a grain silo. They're all, resined up and like an aliens too. And they're like, well, we're just going to burn it down. We can't save them now. And Joe's like, wrong. I just literally saved them.
Well, they were making plans to burn them down. And while they were planning that, my character walked up the elevator and rescued them. Well, saved them from being implanted. And then was attacked by the 2 soldier aliens, and ran down the elevator. And they're like, "What did you do? What did you do?" I said, "I saved town.
I saved the town.
Now save me."
They did, but you were that was very brave. That was very cool.
Well, that energy field is a good spell.
Yeah, that's good. Legion, you are not wrong. That's why I'm still down with the sickness. So he says, sounds like you had fun playing. So no matter what tribulations you had with the rules, make them up. You have to. I did. You had a good time. Yeah. Rifts is I think I'm convinced it's just a fun setting. And so whether I'm using the Palladium rules, which I'm going to stick with, I think I like them. Plus, I was telling Joe, I kind of want to force myself to learn a game that's got a little bit more crunch into it, because over the last few years I've gotten lazy and I don't want to use old man-itis as an excuse anymore. New Year's resolution. I'm going to learn the games I want to play. To be honest, I looked at Dungeons and Delvers, Joe, and said, that's really thick. I'm tired of that. It's weak. That's weak sauce. I'm not doing that anymore. So yeah, I'm going to
read it in chunks.
And when I'm reading it, I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's good. Most of the rules I know already. Yeah. David put some nice spin on things, make some unique stuff. I'm willing to learn.
Familiar enough.
Yeah. Oh, phase weapons. I've never heard of those, Darth.
Yeah, that sounds
phase world.
This scene.
It is an arms race and Rifts.
Yeah, I hate the arms race. It's like whenever they brought out in Star Trek: The Next Generation, when they brought out the Borg. I was like, the Borg? What are they doing here? And then they had the Cardassians and who were the shapeshifter guys? They had a name for their group. Odo had the founders.
Founders, yeah.
So you had the founders and Cardassians and this other group of people, and they were all like, it was like, Klingons, tough. Well, they're nothing next to the Borg. And then, well, I guess you can't say that with the Borg were pretty much tougher than all these other guys, but they even had that in I didn't watch much of it. Enterprise, they had a bunch of super tough aliens in that too. That
who's species 8472? I don't know that one.
Yeah, I don't
recall that, David. I feel like I've heard of that, but I don't know who that is. But yeah,
right. So I'm mushing things a little bit together there, L. But what I'm saying is, in the Star Trek universe, they had this kind of escalation of the tougher alien, the tougher alien, the tougher alien. Like, least in the old series when they ran into super powerful, especially the ones with giant heads, with all veiny giant heads, they they did what they did and you didn't hear from them again. It wasn't some continuing crap.
The Kardashians.
Yeah. It's a very similar sounding name, Cardassian, if I'm remembering that correctly. But yeah, so
yeah, I'm not inclined. I did restrict after I thought about the Godling for one guy. I restricted everybody's characters to the core book. Max says there's crazy power creep. I don't think there's any attempt at controlling power in the expanded Rifts universe. I'm thinking about getting the Bestiary book, the first one. Is it worth it? Because when I read the back of it, it seems to say just stats are given in SDC format. I don't want a bunch of monsters that are SDC because my characters are going to annihilate them.
Yeah, even my character would.
Oh,
I mean, I have a first level SD or second level maybe SDC spell. It costs 5 points, and poof.
Yeah, L says 8472 were that ones the Borg feared. Wow, dude, that's legit.
You are Joe.
You are.
Yes, I am.
I agree, Flady. I knew that going in. The GM is the power creep controlling the game.
Yeah,
that's been true for 3.5 too.
Yeah.
I mean, once we had our little flirt with the Scion, I realized it was busted up in 3.5.
Yeah, and even back then when I was kind of not on board with limiting, the DM should be able to figure it out with whatever we brought. That's really not a good idea.
No, and a lot of it's because it's not me. It's really everybody else.
Yes, Green Apple. Thanks for the clarification. Because of course I am Joe. And he says I'm correct about the DS9 alien race, Cardassian. Yeah. So, even though Kevin said nothing was meant to be excluded, a crafty DM should be able to include anything from any of the books. Sean said the opposite. I believe that the DM should pick and choose. And I think maybe even Kevin said, but the DM does whatever that he wants. So however you want to do the thing, you were right in not having the Godling because darn it, if he brought a Godling, I sure was going to.
Well, sure. And then everybody else would have. And I mean, then how could I tell? Then I'd feel bad telling Tim Scott he couldn't play a Dragon Hatchling. Come on.
Yeah. And then we'd be hunted.
Well, I'd have to rescale everything. I mean,
well, but Godlings are super dangerous.
Yes.
So they make good enemies.
Yes. Agreed.
So,
I'm not saying I couldn't imagine that at one point I could imagine at one point probably playing a Godling and like having a game where, hey, you can play the high powered stuff. So
I mean, I'm not sure that you need to not have the Glitter Boy because the Glitter Boy is nothing in comparison to a Godling, I think.
Oh, really? Is he not?
Yeah.
I thought he seemed doable.
Well, so you can be nearly as tough. I mean, you won't have as much MDC unless you take the super tough power. You could have close to the same MDC as a Glitter Boy without having armor, right. And you'll have you could pick the ability to have an energy ray type attack that does a D6 MDC per level. I'm pretty sure it's per level. So once you get up to 15th level, you're 15 D6 MDC. You're gonna out tank the tank, I think, at that point, because the Glitter Boy's armor doesn't get better.
No,
I mean I think you can make modifications, but not that much.
Right.
But
there's 4 billion Rifts books, so in the end, I mean, who knows?
Right, and depending on which way you go.
About Rifts, I'm not even
right.
trying to claim that I'm an expert. It's just feelings that I played. Right.
Right. So I think the Godling is a lot more powerful than or definitely can become if they level up, if they're not already from the jump better than a Glitter Boy.
This is my wife's favorite saying, Legion of Myth. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That comes
and as Legion is saying, the Glitter Boy has some severe weaknesses. They're not fast.
Yep.
And all of that stuff that he says there. Flanking, people are going up on it. Yeah, they can climb onto it and do things. has a ton of MDC, and you can put out a ton of MD MD damage, but swarm it and outflank it for the win. So yeah, you gang up on the glitter boy, but if they're in a group, then you should be able to, just like you would defend a spellcaster.
Yeah, I'm reading one of the first Rifts novels, and these coalition guys are trying to pin down some rebels in this old city, and this Samus pilot and this Scalabot and a few others run into a glitter boy, and the first thing they say over the comms are, "Holy crap, we need some support. We got a glitter boy here." And they fought him for a little bit. The Scalabot got annihilated. The people driving it managed to live, and the Samus pilot got hurt pretty bad. But they had a juicer. Was it a juicer that killed a Cyber Knight or vice versa? It was pretty wild. The scene was, but they were like all panicking about the glitter boys. So, but yeah, I think you can take them out as described. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, I'm not punting on Rifts. I like it. We had a great time. It was good. All right.
I think would have had a little better time, me and my wife, had we not had things happen this week that kept us from making characters.
For sure. And I made the comment online. I knew what you talked about. I wasn't mad, and I knew you had issues too with the dog and stuff. But I was like, because that did take 2 hours. I mean,
we still really didn't completely flesh out our characters.
No, because making characters are the worst part.
And we don't have any repair people for our Samus guy.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. We need I think,
and for the other MDC armor people, we can't repair any of the armor.
I think the other group, someone's playing an operator mechanic type guy. If I'm correct, I'm not sure what that is.
I was going to be an operator, but since the group I'm in doesn't have a spellcaster, I thought might as well.
Well, the idea is in the campaign, you're kind of a Justice League. You've been gathered by this Sinclair Tarn, and he's trying to gather these heroes together to do things to fight off not just a particular foe, but try to bring some peace to this region and to North America in general. That's his highlight goal. So you guys are going to do teams that are going to be, you're going to be like the old Justice League Europe or the Justice League comics where the roster changes from session to session. So we may have an adventure where we have 2 or 3 lay-on walkers. Oh, well, that's how we're going to do it.
Yeah. PCs shouldn't fight to the death. If the GB starts to take real damage, it's going to want to leave. And last night, that's one of the reasons I think the one of our characters, playing the juicer.
Yes, Martinson
lost all of his armor.
Yeah,
because he wasn't at that point willing to back down, which is fine. He's a juicer. He wants to jump in there and do all that stuff. But what we need to start doing is using more movement.
Yeah.
And stop just going up to them, standing in place and trading punches.
Well, and part of that is there's not much mentioning about how movement actually works.
Since we have Max here, he might know. I know he's not the expert, but he might know. Is there a attack of I didn't see this in the book when I was looking, some sort of an attack of opportunity thing if you disengage from combat? If not, then there's no reason why you can't shoot and move instead of just standing toe to toe with anything. If there's no, well, I'm leaving combat, well, everybody gets to take a poke at you. That's going to keep you from doing that. But if there's not that, and you have a ranged weapon, there's no reason why you don't move and shoot, or move in, punch some dude in the face, and then use the rest of your movement if you have any left. Especially the juicer who has mad speed. He should be able to use. We were in close enough quarters. He could have run up, punched, used an attack action, and kept going, and they wouldn't have been able to hit him.
So 2 things: you can you be in melee, attack someone, and then move out? No attack of opportunity. That was it. Yeah, I did actually. I did an ad hoc rule. Max says no AOO attack of opportunity, which I am aware that's not cinematic. However, if it's reasonable to have an AOO, the GM can make it up. I agree it's not cinematic, and it could just be my third edition roots holding me to it. Last night I had him roll a 10 or higher to be able to move away without an AOO. But I mean, it's fine. I agree. I think you're right. Palladium is meant to be cinematic, and I want to get into that form of it. So maybe I should just forget the AOO altogether.
Unless there's some reason, like he's saying, if it's reasonable, if there's some reason to let the guy have it, apart from the leaving combat per se.
And it's literally it's smarter to engage in melee and use a gun than it is to use a melee weapon, right? According to the rules.
If the gun's doing more damage.
That's what I'm saying. It's literally smarter.
And you can't parry a gun.
Right.
So you can only dodge.
Yeah. And you get a -10 to dodge.
Yeah.
If you're within 4 feet of somebody, you get a -10 to dodge. So if you really want to screw a dodge person, a guy that's heavily dodgy, shoot him in melee. That's the
unless there's some caveat that we don't know about.
Yeah, unless we're missing something.
Because yeah, that is and if you got a gun in either hand, you can do the whole gun kata thing, like someone was talking about on Legion of Myth, on one of their more recent things.
Okay. Yeah. Max says, think about it. Turn and run is one action. The person fighting you will just use his next action to shoot. Not technically an AOO. Yeah, I think that's the way I'll do it. I agree. Legion, or L said something earlier. He was like, so you guys are playing Rifts, the Snyderverse version. I don't know what the green thing is. Is that a
sick?
Sick. Okay, no, I don't know if that's actually saying it's bad. I guess no. I want to clarify this. So when I say if I were going to describe the setting, they have a home base that is kind of like a Justice League home base. There's about 3,000 or 4,000 people that are in this home base. People, I mean, creatures of all sorts. The leader of the home base is a guy I've created, a Sinclair Tarn. He's a cousin to Aaron. And he's kind of their Professor X leader dude. Sends them out on missions. It's a place for a mission. So they're kind of, and he is generally a principled good guy. So he is sent out. He wants to send them out to do good things. I'm trying to have a very simple premise so a lot of players I can have players move in and out and late. I even have
it's to facilitate our group of lots of people.
Yeah, it's not just, I'm going to make it a Snyderverse Justice League. Yeah, sure. That could happen in my game too. L says, well, Justice League, they had to fight the dimensional beings in Russia. Okay, sure.
If we go to Russia. It's going to be hard to get to Russia. Unless we get there on a ley line, or I get there on a ley line.
Well, yeah, I kind of hinted at a thing that's happening when I had that ley line disappear and then come back.
Ley lines are unreliable, apparently.
Well, I'm hinting at something happening bigger. Once we played 3 or 4 sessions are played, and I will encourage every group of players to share information if they wish, so that they can. It's kind of going to be a West Marches style. You guys may want to share information, like when you asked me, "Hey, should we say there was an alien encounter?" Sure, you can tell them you fought these xenomorphs, and hey,
Powder Puff Nerd,
what's
thanks
up?
for stopping in.
But yeah, so I would encourage them to share info, and we'll see how long this goes. Right now, it's holding my interest and intrigues me. So excited.
So are airlines nowadays unreliable? That is true. There's lots of work, lots of layoffs, lots of people not wanting to go to work. America, you want to come in from another country, you have to show proof of vaccination. So
really,
still, no other country, as far as I know, still requires that. We do.
Well, we're led by idiots, so
yeah. So I would caution everybody: do not use Palladium's character sheets.
They all suck.
Yeah. So they do have an Excel thing that you can buy for $5. Don't even use that.
That's what Kelly was using, I didn't think it was that great.
Okay.
Tell Crazy Lady we said hello. She did a great job, Tim Scott. Speak of the
did.
devil. Miss Kelly was awesome. So
we have, but I found a Riff's character sheet that is done in the style of a 5th edition, they said. So I'm going to download that, and it's form fillable. So I'm going to give that a try. It looks looks a lot better organized. The spaces for your things are bigger, so you don't have to write, in 3-point font.
Yeah, it's too small for my old eyes. Legion says he uses graph paper for his own Palladium characters. I think that's as good. So did Martinson, that he made his own. I think that's just as good.
Yeah.
So Kelly's Tim made hers in that new $5 one. It's a good effort. It's a little easier to read. Still don't like it. A friend of mine who's playing a full conversion board, one of our friends is playing, Greg D, is going to be there next Friday or Saturday, one of the 2 days we're going to play. He's got that one too. So
yeah, I'm going to I have no idea. L says that we should make one and sell it on BEG. That is better.
Yeah.
BG. I've tried my hand at making character sheets, and they're no better than anybody else's. So, but we might invite someone to.
Yeah.
Yes, Malachi. We were just talking about the spreadsheet. It's available on Palladium site. Unless you're talking about a different one, you have to pay $5.
The 5e like one, I have it too, Joe. I made my character not crazy on that, and I like it better because it's just bigger, easier to read.
And I can print additional skill sheets for my wife's character who has 50 million skills. They will not all fit on that sheet, even though it has a lot more space on it.
Oh, and it has 47 pages too. So yeah, it was harder to play with, Mr. Scott. He said the Excel sheet was okay for character creation, not great beyond that. Yeah, it was very hard to play with. We're doing lots of flipping between pages. Yeah.
So there was a time when, especially during 3rd edition, where I would have on the back of the sheet all the calculations, and then on the front of the sheet all the totals, instead of having all of it in the same place. And I think that's what I'll do for riffs, because that makes a lot more sense. You have everything on the back where you can calculate all the stuff, and then have the final numbers on the front.
Hey, Legion, I think he may be the first to volunteer. He said, Legion Myth, he has a character sheet template for riffs. It's not for every profession yet, but it's for most of the Man-at-Arms OCC. Cool. Yeah. I asked him to put it on BGE.
Might as well.
Might as well. Yeah. I don't know if he can sell it, though. That might be a thing that Palladium gets mad about.
Yeah. Gaming, you have to really reach to make gaming a lifestyle brand, and it gets pretty thin.
Yeah, that's cool. I hope he does. That'd be good. Well, I don't think it would be proper to have a Biggus Geekus episode if we didn't at least talk about something stupid that WOTC's doing.
Well, they do lots of stupid, so let's go with it.
Yeah, they. I actually watched a Total Party Skills episode today or yesterday, where he made the claim that 6th edition's doomed, and he may or may not be right. I hope he is. And he talked about a little bit, kind of the implication of the 1.1 OGL, which you can still produce stuff from the 1.0 OGL. And as Legion said, you don't even need it if you don't want it. Some folks feel better about having one. Whether you watched it or not, I hate to say that I think it's going to happen, but I feel like 6th edition is going to be a bomb similar to 4th edition. I do.
It has a similar setup, I think.
It does. It's smelling a lot like poop. I mean, I think it's going to, because it's just going to turn some, even the ones that like 5th edition are getting worked up about the OGL, which whether you have to or not, I don't want to argue that and debate that. I agree you don't have to. But especially if you can use, oh God, L will not let this go. All 8 minutes are only the first. I think I watched 7 minutes and 40 seconds. So just before he said stay waspinated is when I left.
It's not precisely the same setup. During fourth edition, there was a serious lull in interest. I mean, that's starting.
Correct.
But they might be able to keep it, depending on how long they take to get sixth edition out.
Say that one more time. You said during fourth edition there was
During
what?
fourth edition there was a big lull in interest, I think, between third edition, because they stopped making stuff right after Book of Nine Swords.
But Paizo came out with Pathfinder in between those two, right? There was a big break.
There was a big break. Well, Paizo's Pathfinder, those people stayed with Pathfinder and didn't go with fourth.
No, I'm saying yeah, right. And so
what I'm saying is there's some similarities to what's going on, but I think right now the difference is in interest level. There are a lot more. They have a lot bigger base of customers now than then.
Yeah, I agree, Ryan.
There's a lot of people who don't like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. L says Grim Jim is predicting a 4E. I think it might happen. We'll see. Though I think WOTC, if they get all the online components they want, that should make them more agile for change. So maybe that would be something that would be good.
Yeah, the thing is, though, those aren't going to work unless they make the game entirely digital. If they have a player's handbook that's the whole game, the 3 core books like they always have, that's the whole game, apart from expansions. But the whole base game, then their online try at controlling your table is not going to work.
Yeah, and I think
it's be a lot of wasted effort.
Yeah, and King Waspinator at TPK, Total Party Skills, said that he thought them going that digital direction quasi video game is dangerous because D&D video games never have really. I think Baldur's Gate, the original, was pretty popular. Oh my gosh, oh man, Hell's bringing up some old stuff. Said D&D Beyond the new Gleemax. Holy cow, yeah. Who will be the murder? Oh gosh, that's cold-blooded. Murder. You recall what he's talking about? Murder-suicide couple in Seattle this time. The guy
I don't know about Gleemax.
The guy that was at Gleemax was going to be their electronic D&D Beyond before D&D Beyond.
Oh.
And the guy they hired, I think, murdered someone. Suicide murder. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think 6E is going to be pretty much, you're going to have the core books, but I think it's all going to be electronic stuff. And I think Malachi's got the right of it, dude. He says, if WOTC does something to affect the third-party publishers, which 1.1 is looking like it, it will hurt 6E. It happened with
the other commonality with 4th edition.
And they need to tread carefully. Yeah, when 3rd edition opened up the OGL, it opened up a can of worms. They can't shut it up anymore.
So yeah, he killed his wife and himself, apparently, according to Malachi. So I don't know what the push is for the total digital tabletop thing that they're really pushing. Having the physical book and then a digital component like a PDF, support for virtual tabletops, that's all good. Having some IP licenses sold to video game development, that's good. Having movie development, good. All that is good things that a company would do, especially if they had quality video game partners and quality movie partners. That would all be good. And that's all that they need to do. They don't need to do this other crap.
This is an interesting thing, and I thought this too. WOTC is mostly former Microsoft execs. I think that's more significant than you might think.
Well, I mean, it's still okay. It's significant in a couple of ways. It makes sense that Microsoft execs want to take the game in a digital direction, but it also makes sense why it's not going to work, because these are former Microsoft execs working for a much smaller company.
But I heard this
I wonder
too.
Why that would be.
This too. 350 coders were hired from WOTC.
It's going to be a lot of wasted money.
I think so too. I just don't. I want to say. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Real role-playing gamers of whatever stripe you might be. To me,
you don't need any of that crap.
You don't need that crap. You don't need that crap. And I love that crap, meaning I love minis. I like maps. You don't need any of that. All you need is sit down with some dice. Go.
Yeah. Everything else is gravy. And once you get beyond dice, maybe some terrain stuff, stuff to help you at the table, all the digital stuff. The only thing digital that they would need is something to help you make a character. And then you print your character sheet out and you leave the rest of it behind when you go play. All of it, the rest of it. Unless they're hiring those coders to make a video game specifically. Or, right, like Malachi is saying, coders make sense to get the VTT up, but they don't need... I think it's a mistake for them to do their own VTT when there's other VTTs out that are mature that they can just support. It's dumb.
Yeah. And Malachi also said once it's up and running, they may slash the number of coders. That sounds like how WOTC used to do.
Sure. They they keep what they need.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the thing. I guess in the new year too, I hope we can... I want to not care about WOTC at all, but it's hard not to, I guess. Because
if they were going to spend the money, they need to spend the money on people who actually can make good things.
Yes.
That are known to be creative and can help them out with their lore, creating new lore, not necessarily retconning all the old lore, which is what they want to do right now, but making good quality gaming material. Right.
Yeah. Mr. Bobbin, he said he worked in the video game industry for 12 years. 350 is a big team. The kind of team to make a full AAA game. A VTT is much simpler.
Oh, sure. VTT.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. We'll see.
Full on video game is way more complex than a VTT.
Yeah, I agree with Patrick too. Oh gosh, wrong one. What did Patrick say back up here? All digital role playing severely limits creativity and world. I'm with you, dude. I'm just not interested. No way. Oh, Legion's got another Discord. Okay, if I don't check this, I got to make Joe wrong. I am going to check those messages. He has two. All right. Well, like I said, we can just hope. I mean, like I told Joe before we jumped on here, I'm still secretly hoping. Not that the D&D just fails, but I hope some lead guy in D&D or all of WOTC just collectively sticks their foot in their mouth and really screws things up so badly that D&D is all but untouchable and Hasbro sells it off. And about 3-4 years down the line, some really cool game designer gets the IP and remakes the game into something that's worthwhile. That's what I hope. That's
a long game.
Yeah.
We got it. 6th edition's got to come out.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just a hope. So, all right, dude. What do you think, man?
I think we are probably done. We are at we're over 2 hours.
Look at us. Sweet. Great.
We can make 2 hours go by really fast for most.
We can. We are long form dudes. So it was good that Ryan David dropped in. I'm glad he showed up. He's welcome anytime. It's good that all these people, man, it's fun to go back and forth with, yeah, you're right, David. David said it. Said, why wait? Do your own thing. I am in cahoots with some friends trying to do our own thing, and I want to write a module, but you know how good I am at that. Getting it done anyway. But these people showed up. Thanks, everybody. It was good input. Thanks, Legion of Myth, for helping us out with the riff rules and everybody else, too. So it was just good to see everybody tonight. It was good chatting. Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, definitely. Happy New Year. Hopefully you had a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
I think it is, man.
All right. If you'd like to support our show, please like, subscribe, and share us where you are listening and viewing. Also, we are up on the socials and video podcast places as well. This will be up here on YouTube, a video after the fact, very shortly afterwards. The audio on podcasts will be up optimistically within a couple of hours, realistically tomorrow morning. So we'll see how that works out tonight.
Right.
You can go to PayPal, Streamlabs, Anchor, and Ko-Fi to show us some money love if you want. The links will be in the show notes and will be on the video description. You can visit us at biggustgeekuspodcast.com, though you won't have a lot of fun there. It hasn't been updated in a while. More focused on Big Geek Emporium, where you can go and support the creators there. Right now, we are not taking any commissions. all the money goes to the creators at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
not sure when I was just going to do it toward the end of the year and go back to taking some profits afterwards, but I think I'm going to leave it that way for a little while until we get the new site up.
There you go. There you go.
So
Late holiday gift by Big
support
Emporium.
Support indie creators. Go to Big Geek Emporium, where we don't tell the creators what to do.
Right.
You got anything else?
I don't, man. I just know that I'm ready to play some more riffs.
All right. Well, this is Joe.
This is Randy.
And remember, if you can't be big like us, then be geeks like us.